Now we will be dealing with the rules to assign oxidation state. The very first rule that we will be dealing while assigning the oxidation state of any element is whenever we are to find the oxidation state of any element which is present in the elemental form, then the oxidation state will be 0 for that. Such as if I talk about the oxidation state of nitrogen in the molecule of nitrogen. So it is the molecule of an element, and here the oxidation state of nitrogen will be 0. Same as if I talk about the ozone molecule or if I talk about the oxygen molecule, and if I am to find the oxidation state of oxygen atom here, then since here the oxygen atom is present in the elemental molecule form, so in this elemental form its oxidation state will be 0. So here the rule is all the elements in their elemental form show 0 oxidation state. So this is the very first rule that will help us to find the oxidation state of any element when it is going to form the molecule of an element. Now we will be dealing with the second rule that talks about the oxidation state of elements when these are present in the compound form. So whenever we talk about the oxidation state of every element present in a compound, and if we go for the addition of these oxidation state, so as we know that the compound is a neutral substance, it has no charge on it. So the oxidation state of all the elements, the sum of the oxidation state of all the elements present in a compound will be equal to the charge present on a compound, that is 0. And if I talk about the sum of the oxidation state of all the elements present in an ion, then this sum will be equal to the charge present on this ion, and that will be the charge of that ion. Such as if I talk about the compound carbon dioxide, CO2. Now if I find the oxidation state of carbon, whatever the value is, and if I add the oxidation state of oxygen element here, it will be equal to the total charge present on this compound, that is 0. So the equation will be oxidation state of carbon plus oxidation state, or I am using the oxidation number term here. So oxidation state of oxygen here. Since here two oxygen atoms are there, and oxidation state, it's the charge per atom. So we will be multiplying this value, that is the charge on a single oxygen atom, with 2 to get the overall charge contributed by these oxygen atoms. It will be equals to the charge present on this compound, and that is 0. Same as if I do the thing with the molecule of water. So here the oxidation state of hydrogen multiplied by 2, since 2 hydrogen atoms are there. If I add this with the oxidation state of oxygen, the sum of these two will be 0. That is the total charge on this compound. That is the total charge on this compound, since it's a neutral compound. Same as if I talk about the ion, if I calculate the oxidation state of all the elements present in sulfate ion or sulfate radical. Now here, if I go for the addition of oxidation state of all the elements, then the equation will be oxidation state of sulfur plus oxidation state of oxygen, and since 4 oxygen atoms are there, so we will be multiplying this charge of one oxygen atom with 4. It will be equals to the total charge present on this radical, and that is -2. So these are the equations that we can make according to this rule, and these equations will help us to identify the oxidation state of any element with the help of the another one when we will be dealing with the further part of this. And if I am to give the statement for this rule, then the statement is sum of the oxidation state of all the elements, it's equal to the charge present on these substances. So first of all, I am talking about the compound. In a compound, it's equal to the charge present on compound, that is 0. And if I talk about the ion, so in an ion, it's equals to the charge on that ion. So that is the second rule. With the help of this rule, we will be calculating the oxidation number of various elements. The third one. Till the time we were dealing with the rules, now we will be dealing with the general oxidation state of some elements. And these are, if alkali metals are present in a compound, then these alkali metals like sodium, lithium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium, they always shows the +1 oxidation state without any exception. So whenever these elements are coming in the compound, we are to put the value +1 as the oxidation state of these elements, since it doesn't goes to vary according to the compound. They always shows the fixed oxidation state and the value is +1. Same as if I talk about the alkaline earth metals, then these alkaline earth metals also show the fixed oxidation state. The examples of alkaline earth metals are beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium and radium. These elements always shows the oxidation state plus. Same as if I talk about the element aluminium and gallium, without any exception, this shows the oxidation state +3. If I talk about the general oxidation state of fluorine, then the general oxidation state of fluorine is -1. Such as if I talk about the oxidation state of another element, such as if I talk about hydrogen, then this hydrogen generally shows the oxidation state +1. Now, the need to pay attention is that this is about the general oxidation state of hydrogen. Otherwise, if the hydrogen atom is present in the elemental form, the oxidation state will be 0. If it's present with that element which I have not introduced till the time, so there it will be showing the oxidation state +1. On the other hand, if it is present with any one element out of these 4 groups, it is present with any alkali metal, any alkaline earth metal, it is present with aluminium, gallium or fluorine, then in all these conditions the oxidation state of hydrogen is oxidation state of hydrogen will not be +1, it will depend on the another element which is present here. For example, if I talk about hydrogen chloride, HCl. So here, if I am to find the oxidation state of these two elements, so chlorine is not introduced till the time in this rule number 3rd. Here I have not put the value of the oxidation state of chlorine. So oxidation state of chlorine will depend on the oxidation state of hydrogen, and here we can use the general oxidation state of hydrogen as +1. If hydrogen is +1, so to make the total charge 0, this chlorine will be showing -1 oxidation state. On the other hand, if this hydrogen is present with sodium atom, it's going to make sodium hydride. The formula is NaH. On the other hand, if it is present with sodium atom, it's going to make the compound NaH, that is sodium hydride. So here, this sodium atom is coming in this priority series at the above position as compared to this hydrogen. Here we can use the oxidation state of any element, but these are in the decreasing order of priority. Out of these sodium and hydrogen, since sodium is placed at the upper priority, so here we will be using the general oxidation state of sodium directly, and the value is +1. Now we have the value of oxidation state of hydrogen also in this table, but here the oxidation state of hydrogen depends on this sodium since it's coming in the lower priority. We cannot put the oxidation state of hydrogen +1 directly. Here the oxidation state of hydrogen will be X here, and to make the total charge 0, here the value of X will be -1. So here we can see that hydrogen in general it shows the oxidation state +1, but if it is present with alkali metals, alkaline earth metals, aluminium, gallium or fluorine, then in these conditions its oxidation state depends on the another element what is present there. Same as if I talk about the oxidation state of some more elements, what I am going to take in the decreasing order of priority, then the general oxidation state of oxygen is -2 until unless it's present with any element which I have introduced in this series till that time. If I talk about the oxidation state of nitrogen, then in general it shows the oxidation state -3. For chlorine, generally it shows the oxidation state -1. Bromine, it shows the oxidation state -1 again. Iodine, it shows the oxidation state same like another halides -1. And sulfur, it shows the oxidation state -2. These are the general oxidation state that we are to use in the decreasing order of priority. Now, if we apply these rules for some examples, then for example, if I am to find the oxidation state of hydrogen in the molecule of hydrogen. So as we can see that this one is an example of elemental molecule. So from the very first rule, the oxidation state of hydrogen will be 0 here, since it's an example of a molecule of an element. Same as initial example we have taken, if I am to find the oxidation state of hydrogen and chlorine in the molecule of hydrogen chloride, then here two elements are there and the general oxidation state of hydrogen is +1, the general oxidation state of chlorine is -1. But here I am using the value of only that element which has higher priority in the series what we have dealt last, but what we have dealt before this. Like if I talk about this table, so in this table this hydrogen is coming at the upper position as compared to this chlorine atom. So in the example hydrogen chloride, we will be putting the value only for hydrogen and the oxidation state of chlorine will depends on the oxidation state of hydrogen. The oxidation state of hydrogen is +1 here. I am to calculate the oxidation state of chlorine, so it will be X here. Since the sum of the oxidation state of these elements should be equals to 0, it's a neutral compound. So from here we can calculate the value of X, it will be -1. If I talk about the another example that we have read initially, here we are going to elaborate this example. So if I talk about NaH, so here again sodium and hydrogen, the general oxidation state of these two elements are well known to us. But whose oxidation state we are to put here, it depends on the priority of these two elements. Since this table gives us the value of the oxidation state of every element, but it is in the decreasing order of priority. Since sodium is coming at the topmost position, so its oxidation state we will be using here, that is +1, and the hydrogen oxidation state of hydrogen, it will depend on the oxidation state of sodium. So here the oxidation state of sodium we will be putting the value +1 and the oxidation state of hydrogen will be calculated by considering the value X. The total charge of this compound is 0. So here from here the value of X will be -1. Here we can see that in the very first example the hydrogen was showing the oxidation state +1 and in the second example it's going to show the oxidation state -1. So these are the things what we can calculate, but while calculating we are to consider the priority order of these elements. Now if we take some more examples for this. So if I am to calculate the oxidation state of oxygen and fluorine in the compound OF2. So here again we have the idea of the oxidation state of these two elements. Oxygen in general it shows -2 oxidation state and fluorine in general it shows -1 oxidation state. Whose value should I put here? It depends on their priority, and you can see from the table what we have read before that oxygen it comes at the above position as compared to fluorine. So here we will be putting the general oxidation state of oxygen here, that is -2, and besides of putting the value -1 for fluorine, it will depend on the oxidation state of oxygen. Now as we know, now these are the two general states of these two elements, but whose value we should be using here, it depends on the priority of these two. As we know that the oxidation state of fluorine, that the fluorine, it has higher priority as compared to oxygen. So here we will be putting the value only for fluorine, and the oxidation state of oxygen, it will depend on the oxidation state of fluorine here. So I am calculating the value of oxidation state of oxygen by considering the value X. The oxidation state of fluorine I am using here because it has higher priority as compared to oxygen. The charge on a single atom of fluorine will be -1. So the charge on two atoms of fluorine will be -2. The total charge will be 0 here, and from here the value of X will be +2. So here oxygen is not showing -2 oxidation state, that is the general oxidation state of it. Here it is showing +2 oxidation state. Now if I take the another example of that compounds which contains 3 elements, such as if I talk about the H2SO4 molecule. So here we are to calculate the oxidation state of hydrogen, sulfur and oxygen. Since these three we can put the value, but here out of these three unknown values, I will be putting the value of only 2 elements to make the equation. And these 2 elements will be that which has the higher priority. Out of hydrogen, sulfur and oxygen, hydrogen generally it shows +1 oxidation state according to the table. Oxygen it shows -2 oxidation state according to the table, and sulfur it shows -2 oxidation state according to the table. Now whose values should I put in the equation? It depends on the priority of these three. In the priority order, hydrogen it comes first, oxygen it comes at the second position, and sulfur it comes at the lower position as compared to these two. So here I will be using the value of the general oxidation state of hydrogen and oxygen only. The value of sulfur will not be put here. Since the per atom charge of hydrogen generally it's +1, so in the compound H2SO4 the total charge contributed by hydrogen atoms will be +2. Oxidation state of sulfur, it depends on the oxidation state of rest 2 elements. So here I am putting the value X as for the oxidation state of sulfur. Oxidation state of oxygen is generally -2. Since here 4 oxygen atoms are there, so the total oxidation state will be 2 multiplied by -4, and the value will be -8. The total equation will be the sum of the oxidation state of all these is equals to 0. That is according to the second rule. So if I am to solve this equation, it's 2 plus x minus 8 is equals to 0, and from here we can calculate the value of x, that is plus 6. So here the hydrogen is showing +1 oxidation state, sulfur is in +6 oxidation state, and oxygen is in -2 oxidation state to make the compound neutral. Now by taking the last example of this oxidation state, if I am to calculate the oxidation state of nitrogen in these compounds, the very first is ammonia NH3, the second one I am using N2H4, the third one I am using the N3H, it's a molecule of nitrogen N2, oxide of nitrogen nitrous oxide, the next one is nitric oxide NO, N2O3, NO2 and N2O5. We are to calculate the oxidation state of nitrogen in all these elements, in all these compounds. So we will be starting with the very first, that is ammonia NH3. Here hydrogen being higher priority, it will be having the oxidation state +1. The oxidation state of nitrogen will depend on the hydrogen. We are taking the value x. X plus 3 is equals to 0. So here the oxidation state of nitrogen is -3. Same as if I talk about the compound N2H4. So here again hydrogen is having higher priority. The value what we will be using for hydrogen is the general oxidation state of hydrogen, that is +1. 2 nitrogen atoms are there. So if the oxidation state of nitrogen I am considering as x, the charge on 2 nitrogen atoms will be 2x plus the oxidation states of hydrogen multiplied by 4, since 4 hydrogen atoms are there. So it will be 4 and the total sum is equals to 0. So it will be 2x minus 4, and from here we can calculate the value of x, that will be equals to minus. Now if I move to the another compound, that was N3H. Here again the oxidation state of hydrogen is +1. The oxidation state of nitrogen I am considering as x. 3 nitrogen atoms are there, so the total value will be 3x, and the total charge of the compound is 0. So from here we can calculate the value of x, and that is equals to minus 1 by 3. That is the charge on a single atom of nitrogen. If I talk about the molecule of nitrogen, so since it's an example of elemental molecule, here the oxidation state of nitrogen will be 0. Now if I move to the another compound, that was nitrous oxide N2O. Here out of these nitrogen and oxygen, again oxygen has higher priority. So we will be putting the value of this oxidation state of oxygen directly, that is minus 2. The oxidation state of nitrogen we are calculating by considering the value x. Since here 2 nitrogen atoms are there, so the value will be 2x minus 2, and the total sum of these two will be 0. On solving, we will be getting the value 2x is equals to 2, and from here the value of x is equals to +1. If I go for the another compound, nitric oxide, so oxygen is showing minus 2 oxidation state. To make the compound neutral, nitrogen's oxidation state will be +2. If I am to calculate for the third last one, that is N2O3, so here oxygen is showing minus 2. Since 3 oxygen atoms are there, so the total oxidation state will be minus 6, and the oxidation state of nitrogen is 2x. We are to add these two, so the total value will be equal to the charge present on this compound, that is 0. It will be 2x is equals to 6, and from here the oxidation state of nitrogen will be +3. Same as if I talk for the compound next one, that is nitrogen dioxide NO2. So from here oxygen is showing minus 2 oxidation state, the nitrogen is showing the value x. 2 oxygen atoms are there, so the value will be minus 4, it's equals to 0, and from here the value of x will be +4. And if I talk about the last compound, nitrogen pentaoxide, that is N2O5, so here 2 nitrogens are there, so it will be 2x. 5 oxygens are there, so the total value will be 10, and the sum of these two is equals to 0. From here the value of x will be +5. So these are the oxidation state of all the elements what were asked in this compound. In the very first compound NH3, it is showing minus 3 oxidation state. In the next one minus 2, it's showing minus 1 by 3, 0, +1, +3, +4 and +5. So here we can see that the oxidation state of nitrogen is going to vary from +5, that is present in N2O5, to -3, that is present in ammonia. So it may vary, oxidation state may vary, it depends on the another element present with this element, and the oxidation state of nitrogen may vary from +5 to -. So this is about the oxidation state. Now we will be using this concept to identify the oxidation and reduction behavior of any chemical reaction. Such as if I start with a simpler one, if I talk about the reaction of aluminium with HCl. By the reaction, it will displace the hydrogen gas, hydrogen H2, plus aluminium chloride, formula AlCl3 will be formed. To make this reaction balanced, it will be 2 atoms of this, 6 molecules of hydrogen chloride, 2 molecules of AlCl3 and 3 molecules of hydrogen will be elaborated. Now, here this aluminium, it is showing, since it is present in elemental state, so here the oxidation state is 0. Hydrogen chloride, here the hydrogen is showing +1 oxidation state. Chlorine, it will be showing -1 oxidation state. Oxidation state of hydrogen in the molecule of hydrogen, again it's 0, since it's the molecule of an element. Aluminium chloride, aluminium always shows +3 oxidation state. 3 atoms of chlorine, they will be having -3 charge on them, but the oxidation number is defined as the charge per atom. So here the charge on a single chlorine atom will be -1. If I consider that how the oxidation number is going to be changed, So from here we can see that here the aluminium is going to convert from 0 to +3 oxidation state. So here the oxidation state is going to increase, and as it's going to be increased, it can be defined as the process of oxidation according to the definition what we have did in initial. If I talk about the oxidation state of hydrogen, it's going to change from +1 to 0, and +1 to 0 it's decrease in oxidation state, and the process where the oxidation number decreases it's defined as the reduction reaction. Same as if I talk about the another reaction, that is zinc oxide ZnO plus hydrogen. When it reacts they form zinc and water H2O. Simply I can also identify the oxidation and reduction reaction. Since here this zinc atom is going to lose the electron, and the process of the loss of electron is defined as the reduction process. Here this hydrogen atom is going to gain the oxygen atom, and the process where the gaining of oxygen occurs is defined as the oxidation process. Now if I am to mark this reaction on the basis of their oxidation number, then we can use the oxidation number concept here. Zinc oxide when reacts with hydrogen, it forms zinc and water. Here the oxidation number of zinc is +2, since the oxidation number of oxygen is -2. Hydrogen being in elemental state is showing 0 oxidation state. Zinc it is in elemental state, so the oxidation state is 0. Hydrogen it will be +1, oxygen it will be -2. From +2 oxidation state, it's going to be converted into 0. It's about the zinc metal. So here the oxidation state is going to be decreased, so it can be defined as the process of reduction. On the other hand, the oxidation state of hydrogen, it's going to be increased from 0 to +1. So since it's the increase in oxidation state, it can be defined as the process of oxidation. And here, since in a chemical reaction, oxidation and reduction, they both are taking place simultaneously. So this kind of reaction where the oxidation and reduction, they both take place simultaneously, will be defined as the redox reaction. So it is an example of redox reaction. Now, if I take the complicated one example of this redox reaction, so if I talk about the potassium iodide, that is Ki, when it is reacted with KiO3, potassium perchlorate, and 6 molecules of HCl I am using at the reactant side. By the reaction it is converted into the molecule of iodine. 3 molecules of iodines are produced. 6 molecules of KCl will be produced, and in this reaction 3 molecules of water will be also there. Now if I talk about the oxidation or reduction reaction, if I am to identify that which one is going to oxidize or which one is going to reduce, so it's a difficult task here, since a lots of atoms are going to interchange here. So here we will be using the oxidation number concept. If I am to calculate the oxidation number of potassium and iodine in the given compound, since potassium belongs from the alkali metal group, it will always be showing +1 oxidation state, and according to this iodine's oxidation state will be -1. In the compound KiO3, 3 elements are there, and out of these 3 elements we can put the oxidation state of 2 general elements according to their priority. Potassium, it has higher priority, so its oxidation state will be +1. Oxidation state of oxygen, it will be -2, and since iodine comes in the priority series at the bottom position, so its oxidation state will depend on the oxidation states of these. So here if I am to do the calculation, here this potassium, it's showing the value +1. Iodine, I am considering the value as X. Oxidation state of oxygen is -2, so the total charge will be -6, and the total charge on this compound will be 0. From here the value of X is equals to +5, and that is the oxidation state of iodine here. Potassium, it's showing +1 oxidation state. Iodine, it's showing +5 oxidation state, and the oxidation state of oxygen is -2. Hydrogen chloride, hydrogen has the charge +1. Chlorine has the oxidation state -1. In iodine, it has 0 oxidation state. In potassium chloride, potassium is +1, chlorine is -1, hydrogen has +1 and here oxygen has -2 charge. Now if I go to the observation of these changes, potassium from +1, it's +1 at the side of the product also. Iodine from -1, the value is going to be changed from 0. So as it is going to change from -1 to 0, it's a process of the increase in oxidation state, and since it's the increase in oxidation state, it will be defined as the process of oxidation. Here again iodine from +5, it's going to change into 0, and as it's going to change from +5 to 0, here the decrease in oxidation state is undergoing, and it can be defined as the process of reduction. So here again oxidation and reduction, they both are taking place simultaneously. So this can also be taken as the example of redox reaction. And one thing what is important about this reaction is, here if I talk about the oxidation, so oxidation of iodine is undergoing. Since the oxidation state of iodine is going to change from -1 to 0, so here the oxidation of iodine is undergoing. On the other hand, if I talk about the substance whose reduction is going on, so here again the iodine whose reduction is carried out in this reaction, iodine is going to change from +5 to 0 oxidation state. So here again it's the reduction of iodine, and this kind of reaction where the oxidation of a reduction occurs for a single element. A single element shows the oxidation process as well as it's showing the reduction process. This kind of specific redox reactions are termed as disproportionation reaction. This kind of redox reaction where a single substance undergoes the oxidation process as well as it undergoes the reduction process. This chemical reaction will be defined as the specific type of redox reaction, and this is known as disproportionation reaction. So this is about the redox reactions. And here one more thing that is important is the substance whose oxidation occurs is defined as reducing agent. It's the substance which undergoes the oxidation process. While on the other hand, if sometimes they ask about the oxidizing agent, then it is the substance which undergoes the process of reduction. For example, here in this potassium iodide, the process of oxidation is going on. So here it can be defined as the reducing agent. While this potassium iodide, since it's going for the process of reduction, here it can be defined as the oxidizing agent. So these are again two important terms that are generally asked, and this is the complete thing about the redox reactions.